Hey Kevin, we had a record year in profits. So, what do I do with all of my profits now? Kevin Weir, your action business coach. And that's not a surprising discussion because every business owner that works with a business coach like me tends to find that their profits accelerate exponentially over a period of time. So, this is something I deal with all the time with most of my clients when they are accelerating their profits. And so, there's five main areas that we want to look at and what do we want to do with the profits. But the very first thing we need to discuss before we get started is the concept that profit is a theory and cash is fact. You will always have to understand that you need to keep enough cash in your business so that you can address certain issues that will come up. And I've seen this before where a business owner will say, gosh, Kevin, I've got $500,000 in profits, but I have no cash in the bank. Well, guess what? We have to then go in and said, okay, what did you do to create your own cash crisis? Because that's typically what happens. They've made poor choices with what they thought was cash profits instead of cash, and now they become profit rich and cash poor. So I just want to keep that in mind that remember, profit is theory, cash is fact. Now, let's go into number one, is that the number one thing that you do with profits is to reinvest it back into your business. So I said on a recent video that the purpose of profits is reinvestment. So when we're looking at reinvesting back in your business, what does that look like? Number one, property, plant, and equipment. If you think about it, that big, huge piece of $50,000 commercial machinery is going to be a lot cheaper at a 0% interest rate from your retained earnings, i.e. profits, than versus going to a bank. So that's a lot cheaper to do it that way. Now, are there times when you're going to want to go to the bank anyway and spend the 7, 6, 8% or whatever to buy equipment and reuse the profits in another area? Yeah, absolutely. But just keep that in mind. So property, plant, equipment. The second area in reinvesting back in your business is commercial real estate. What if you have the opportunity to not lease anymore and actually buy the commercial property and or land and or both that's beneath your feet? Yeah, then you can start paying rent to yourself. So if you have enough profits, maybe you should take a look at going to your landlord and offering to purchase the building that you're in. Number three, marketing. Maybe you need to up your marketing investment, and especially if you know that if you put $1 in, you get $2 out. Maybe it's time to up that marketing expense, actually investment, I should say, up that marketing investment to make more money. And number four, in the area of reinvesting in your back end business, is team development. Maybe it's time to take a look at a deeper dive into really improving your team skill sets, knowledge, training, systems, processes, everything to make your employees better. So number one, reinvest back into your business. Number two, what to do with your profits is employee bonuses. Maybe it's definitely when you have that kind of level of profits, let's reward our employees. How might that look? Well, it could be a percentage of profits that turn into cash payouts. So let's say that you've made a decision and you put it out to employees is that if you hit a certain percentage of profits, they're going to get a percentage of that back to them in cash bonuses. Or you could structure it such that if I have a budget of X percent and for every percentage over that budget, I'm going to split a 50-50 bonus with you, the employees. That's a possibility. Share distribution. You know, this is obviously applicable if you're looking at doing any kind of employee buyout of nature that you could basically use the profits as a share distribution back into an account that allow the employees to potentially buy the business in the future. Another thing we could look at is tangible items. Maybe you want to buy things for your employees. You know, I read a recent article about the idea of having a dream, fulfilling employee dreams. There's one company where they have the employees write down what their dreams are, and that the company picks a couple of those every single year to fulfill their dreams. Pretty inventive. So that's employee bonuses. Number 3 area is pay off high interest capital expenditures. So let's say that you bought a piece of equipment on a 10-year term at, say, 10.5%. You're kind of struggling. You had to pay a higher interest rate. Things are a lot better now, and you're about, halfway into paying that off. And so maybe it might be a good idea to take some of those profits and pay off that high interest capital expense. Maybe not. That's something that you'd need to work with somebody like me to do some mathematics and said, does it make sense? Yes or no. But that certainly is an area of paying off that high interest capital expenditures. Number 4 of what to do with your profits is look at private investments outside of your business. If you're the business owner, maybe take a look at real estate. I've got one client that I've worked with for a number of years, and they decided that they wanted to do some investment into a real estate portfolio and really basically buy rentals or buy commercial property, which if it's applicable. But yeah, look at investing into real estate. Stock market portfolio. Maybe we need to start looking at a stock market portfolio. Obviously, currently the Dow is on an upward swing. I don't know how long that's going to continue, but maybe that's an option. 3 is education within investing in yourself outside your business. Maybe you'd like to get some more knowledge. I heard the term invest in yourself, and that's a great way to invest in yourself is some additional education. And number 4, maybe other businesses. Maybe you want to go in and invest into businesses that you know of that might be advantageous to you, or you can use that profits to start another business and let somebody else run the business for you. That certainly is an option there. So that's number 4 is private investment outside of your business. And number 5 is toys. Buy your boat, buy your RV, whatever that looks like, but only after the first 4 have been accomplished. I had a client one time that took all of its profits and bought a huge boat and took all of that, and it just sapped his business because all of that profit went into a boat and he couldn't liquidate the boat, and that really affected his business. And so yeah, toys are great. You want to buy toys? Wonderful, go for it, but only until those first 4 have been established. Now, one last thing before we finish up today is you need to make sure that you are talking to your wealth manager and your CPA to discuss tax strategies. Because obviously, one of the things that you need to do is make sure that you're paying the least amount of tax possible on those profits. You should be having a minimum annual meetings with your CPA and wealth managers. If you do not have a CPA or wealth manager, I know a good CPA and a good wealth manager who could really help you out. If you're interested, comment below. I'll share those names with you. And if you want to sit down and schedule a time with me, either a 15-minute phone call or a 30-minute Zoom, where you want to talk about what do I do in investing my profits effectively, go ahead and click below and get into my calendar. Let's have a chat. Let's figure out what would work best for you. All right? Go out there and make it a great day.